Hi, so yes, what am I talking about today? I think today it's all about how my lifestyle has changed since I met, or since I had my blood red 3 years ago. Is it 3 years or was it 4 years? Anyway, I had my blood red, I think it was 3 years ago. It was 2017. Maybe it might have even been 4 years ago. Who knows? Yes. The lady I went to see, a lady by the name of Maureen Owen, she's based in Benoni. She helped me a lot in terms of diagnosing that I was gluten intolerant. I learned a little bit about what gluten can do to somebody that is gluten intolerant. Wasn't aware, but I think she mentioned that 70% of people are gluten intolerant, and 70% of the world population are gluten intolerant and not aware of it. She gave me a list of things to eat and drink. Obviously, being gluten intolerant, I had to cut out a lot of things, and I needed discipline to do that. First thing I needed to cut out was beer. Second thing was bread. I love bread. I've had a lifelong love affair with bread, confectionery, pies. I could never have one pie. I had to have two. I enjoy burgers. I enjoy lots of fast food. I remember when I first went onto the road as a sales rep 35 years ago. Every time I drove past a McDonald's or a KFC, I would stop and buy something to eat, irrespective of whether I needed it or not. And I ballooned. I put on a lot of weight. I was exceptionally unhealthy. I still had my tonsils, so I always had tonsillitis. Sometimes it was quite serious. Always got the flu and change of seasons, and just a general really unhealthy person. Anyway, so I started following what Maureen advised, and one of the things she advised was for 2 weeks just completely detox. I got some muti from her, and I detoxed, and I immediately started feeling better. Immediately started my breathing was better. I was always allergic to dogs and cats. Was one of my allergies. When many years ago I went for an allergy test, and obviously it was hair, it was pollen, it was dust, just a whole lot of things. And I've got to a point now where previously, the minute I came into contact with a cat or a dog indoors, my eyes would water and my chest would tighten. Now I have 2 dogs. Me and my girlfriend have 2 dogs, and they sleep in the room, and I have no problem. I have no dogs and cats have no effect on me anymore. And I've also started exercising, something that I was never able to do as a kid, right up until last year. I started walking to break the boredom of the lockdown situation at home, and I'm now running between 20 and 22 kilometers a week, and I have never felt better. And my outlook on life is so much more positive. Not that I had a problem with being a negative person. I'm an eternal optimist. I always see the glass half full rather than half empty. In fact, my brother often says to me that, you know, I'm too positive and I'm crazy, because sometimes I see a positive situation in any circumstance. And yeah, we fail often, but I see failure as another step on the learning side of things. I like to learn from my mistakes, and I like to learn from other people's mistakes. That's why I like sharing, and I like talking and hearing other people's experiences. And yeah, the running has really improved my discipline. I have always been quite a disciplined person, but my discipline now is second to none. I get up at 4:45, 5 o'clock on my running days. Rain or shine, rain or sunshine, cold or hot, I'm on the road running. And I find that the motivation to get out of bed and to get into my running shoes and to run, it does something to me. It's almost become addictive for me. The challenge of knowing you've got to go and run. My minimum distance is 5Ks. Cold, and you know, in winter in Joburg it's exceptionally cold. I mean, it gets down to about 3-4 degrees at that time of the morning, and I don't know, just the feel-good factor after the run, it's addictive. And it's the kind of addiction I love, because it gives me the power to face any situation. Because if I can do that, I can do almost anything. And then it obviously I need a lot of discipline to walk away from all the wrong foods and gluten-infested foods, as I call them. But I've learned to substitute gluten-free flour. There is so much on the market now in terms of pastas, flours, and I've chosen to make my own bread, my own gluten-free bread. I do some brioches. I'm busy working on croissants, and my sister's given me a nice gluten-free pie pastry recipe, which I haven't tried yet, but I plan on trying very soon. And yeah, the discipline to do the running thing and to go to gym on the mornings I don't run has really helped my outlook on life. And like I said, it was never a negative outlook, but I believe what's in here is it determines your path in life. I've never been one that discipline in terms of timekeeping. I find it quite frustrating that people, when it comes to time, I have got a little bit of an obsession about time. I hate being late anywhere. I've often been told that I'm so early I make everybody else late. Again, one of my brother's favorites. But I don't like to get, we start work at 8, but if I like to get to work at least an hour before the time. And the night before I like to prepare what I'm going to do, because I'm not the kind of guy that can get out of bed and just wing it, and I need to be planned. I need to have a little bit of structure in life. A lot of people don't. A lot of people just rock up at work 5 minutes before they start. Some people come, when I go to gym, the gym opens at 5, and often people arrive. The people who work at the gym arrive at the gym at 5 o'clock. takes them 10-15 minutes to prepare to allow the people to come in and to go into the gym. So that irritates me. Lateness irritates me. I find if people are late, it's a sign of disrespect. I mean, you have a meeting at 11 and the guy arrives at 11 or 11:05. It's a sign of disrespect, and there's always the best excuses. You know, the traffic was bad on the road. My car, I needed to go and fill petrol. Those are, I mean, it's a sign of disrespect, because in the end, if you have a meeting at 10, whenever, you always plan to get there at least half an hour before. And that planning should take into account traffic issues, petrol issues. Obviously, if your car breaks down, you've got an issue. But I find any meeting I'm in, or any meeting I'm part of, if I'm the first one there, somehow I'm more prepared, and I just feel in a position of control rather than being reactive. I'm more proactive. I like preparing for stuff, hate being late, and I just think it's a sign of disrespect if somebody's late for an appointment. You have to make a plan to be on time. So yeah, another thing that I did is, or that it has improved, is in 2020 I ran out of my blood pressure and cholesterol tablets, which I'd been taking for the last, I'd say, previous 5 years. And when I went to make an appointment with my physician last year, April, she was too busy with COVID admittance at the hospital that she's based at, and she asked me to please come in 3 to 4 months thereafter. And I immediately went and bought myself a blood pressure measuring machine from the pharmacy, and I've been monitoring my blood pressure, and once every 3 months I monitor my cholesterol. And since I've been off gluten, sugar's all never been a problem, and since I've started exercising, my blood pressure, the diastolic is always between 130 and 140, and the systolic is between 60 and 80. So my cholesterol, my blood pressure, perfect, since my way of life has changed. And because of it, it's my improved health hasn't come with tablets and medication. It's come naturally. So I'm quite addicted to that kind of lifestyle as well. And you get a lot of flack when you go to a social event and everybody's drinking except you, or you may be having maybe 1 or 2 whiskeys maximum. But people, I don't know what it is, but people who drink a lot, smoke a lot, eat a lot of the wrong foods, and not generally in good health, and using tablets to maintain that level of health, they tend to put pressure on the healthier people. And I consider myself a healthier person now. It's almost like, you're a killjoy, you're not enjoying yourself, you a party pooper. General situation where people like you to do what they do, and if you don't do what they do, it's almost like, they don't really want to spend time with you, because they don't feel like you're helping them to have a good time. And I'm probably blessed in the sense that I was so ill as a kid. I don't want to feel like that ever again. And if staying away from gluten in terms of beer, in terms of bread and finding alternative, healthier products that don't affect me and don't affect my health. I'm addicted to that. And like I always say, people who drink a lot, they tend to have to drink a personality. My take on it is, I don't need to drink a personality. I've got one already. And yeah, cheers.